So there's an interesting bit of difference between the original and prequel trilogies in terms of hope. I would say that in the original trilogy, hope is definitely centered more on individuals versus in the prequel trilogy, where hope tends to be centered more on institutions. So in the original trilogy, you have Leia, who is carrying the hope for the fight with the rebellion. You have Luke, who's carrying the hope of the Jedi Order and restoring that to power and defeating Darth Vader and the Emperor in that sort of mystical side of things, right? Leia is the more military side of things. And then in the prequel trilogy, you have it more centered on the idea of democracy, right? You have Sio Bibble saying, surely the Republic is going to come help with this trade blockade situation we're dealing with. But you also see the hopelessness of things with Shmi Skywalker saying, hey, the Republic doesn't operate out here on Tatooine. And so we don't really have much in the way of hope that slavery is going to be resolved as an issue. But there are still instances of hope being centered on individuals, right? So in The Phantom Menace, for example, that the Jedi representatives, i.e. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, can actually bring a message to the Senate and possibly help with their situation, or that Anakin, young Anakin, can demonstrate his particular abilities in such a way that he will create opportunities for himself that will get out of slavery. So it's an interesting situation because ultimately institutions rely on people, right? And that is sort of where everything falls apart in the prequel trilogy, because there's corruption in the Senate, there's all this manipulation that's happening with Palpatine behind the scenes, and certainly other bad actors that he is putting into play. And yeah, it's institutions themselves won't be able to save people. It's up to all of us as individuals to put our hope forward in the right direction.